Yep, I'm in Beagleswade. It's a Sunday, but there were club things to deal with, so I went to see the under-13s, and we were playing a semi-final of a cup, and had lunch with the head of the academy, Frank Constancio, and now I'm heading to Hitchin, which is my base in the UK, and I've got 20 minutes to wait for the train, because on Sundays there are many trains going from here to anywhere really. So I thought I'll take advantage of the time to look at some of the things that I heard, that I know about what Arsenal are doing regarding their search for a manager. I said I would do that in Arsenal Fan TV, and this is the time to do it. This is the first time I had the time to do it. So the first thing to say, though, is that nobody really knows what the decision is going to be about the next manager, because there is no decision yet. So, have I lost many of you here? The ones that remain here, let me tell you a few things that I know. For instance, Patrick Vieira. Would he fit? Possibly yes. Is he ready? Maybe not. But in any case, the plan that Manchester City have for Patrick Vieira is to stay around until Pep Guardiola moves on, and then he will take charge. It could be 4 years, it could be 5 years. I know that Manchester City want to put on the table a proposal for another year for Pep Guardiola, and I believe he will accept that. So that's at least 4 years that he will be around, which gives time for Patrick Vieira to continue developing and learning. Mikel Arteta, I don't think Manchester City have got any intention of letting him go, but I do feel that Arteta is still in the learning process. It's early for him to take over at Arsenal. Would he be interested? No doubt. Will he be capable once he's done his years of experience? Of course he will be able to, and I'm sure at some point he will. But perhaps the next step for him will be 1 more year with Pep, and then move as a number 2 at Arsenal. Why not? And then develop from there. But I think it's not his time just yet. Luis Enrique, I've said it before, he definitely wants the job. He's talking to Arsenal and to Chelsea, and there is division within the camp, Arsenal, to see if he was actually the right fit for the club. I feel, for many reasons, I said it before, that he will actually fit very well, because he has the personality not to care about any of us and what we all think. He will have a remit, and he will have to stick to it, and he will do so, and he will create a competitive environment, culture at the club. Will turn the screw a little bit more to make an even more competitive Arsenal, no doubt about that. But they have to decide, Arsenal have to decide if that's the profile they want. And I'm saying that because they're also talking to Berizzo, former Celta. He did a fantastic job at Celta in terms of the style of the football, in terms of making the team competitive, with a lot of tactical decisions that had to do with Marcelo Bielsa, who of course he worked with at the Chilean national side, and you would say that he's one of the pupils of Bielsa. And I mention Bielsa because it's an attractive proposition for Arsenal, for people within Arsenal, those decision makers that will eventually take the step of choosing who the manager will be. Some of them believe that Marcelo Bielsa, somebody with a club idea, but also with the ability to make the first team more competitive in a style that people will enjoy, that's perhaps the things, the profile to go for. Berizzo is a name that hasn't been mentioned much, but it's one of the names that they are talking. Fonseca is another one. Fonseca, they got information on him and the job that he's done at Shakhtar Donetsk, where for 2 years since Lucescu disappeared, moved on. He actually took charge from the legend that he was, and in those 2 years, especially the beginning, with no much investment, he made the players better. Fred, certainly, Marlo. There's a lot of players at Shakhtar Donetsk that had got stuck, and he made them better. And even though his time at Shakhtar Donetsk didn't start very well, I think he was knocked out of the qualifiers of the Champions League. You've seen a different Shakhtar Donetsk since, and it's something that has been observed by Premier League clubs, including Everton. Everton approached him and he said no to Everton. Why? Because he's thinking of Arsenal. He's been told that Arsenal are interested in him. There's other names like Ancelotti, certainly, who I think is going to end up in the national side of the Italian national side, and Allegri, whose future is in doubt. I just don't see him fitting at Arsenal. It's got to do with the style, of football mostly, and I'm not sure. I know it's been mentioned. I cannot tell you if it's been conversations there or not, but I'm not sure if it's the kind of football that Arsenal fans will accept. And I know that a lot of Arsenal fans are saying, well, why not Simeone? And when they ask that, I wonder why they don't see that Arsenal have created the most difficult thing that there is, which is an identity, a way of understanding what you have to do on the pitch. It just has to be improved, that's all. You cannot start from scratch. If you take the Simeone turn, you're talking about a club that will have to give up possession, will have to defend, sometimes too deep, only looking for the counter. And I know that even the Arsenal of the Invincibles, it was a lot about counter-attacking, very good counter-attacking and pace, but they had much more to it. I don't think Simeone is the person for that, but we mentioned some of the names that could be. But we're still in the stage where things are being discussed within the camp, within Arsenal, and as I said, some will go for a former player, others are talking about Bielsa, and there's the possibility of bringing a big name as well. When something becomes clearer, and if I hear about it, I will let you know. Meanwhile, I'm sharing with you what I know. So let's keep an eye on it, and let's see how Arsenal do against Manchester United. Cheers, bye.